the 144,000 elect governing body of the House of David, along with the rest of 1/3 elect men and women and children in Israel. All right, and this is your fellow servant Malak Rayaj. You're back at it again with another Heart of God 1 update. All right, another WW3 algorithm. All right, of the simulations of war by the heathen. Further contributing to the war drums beating louder and louder within these perilous times we're living in as we get closer and closer to the end of this devil, Shoshua's rulership. All right, in the beginning of ours, man, and pursuing the second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. Okay, during this paradigm shift from an ungodly and unrighteous rulership over to righteous and everlasting rulership. Okay, when Yahushua cracks some clouds, all right, to claim the crowns from the heads of these heathens, man, in this last world's war. So this is going into the bear, all right, the feet of the beast, spoken about in Revelation 13:2. Okay, on behalf of the Russians, man, and how they're coming, man. Okay, and how they're coming with their onslaught, all right, of their foes and adversaries, okay, within America and NATO. Okay, so I'm going to bring out some information, all right, in these articles of secular history and filtered to biblical prophecy, and Lord willing, this is further edifying and exhorting to elect. So I'm sorry here on this article, this RT article entitled, "The Russians Are Coming. What Moscow Could Do to Make Life Difficult for the U.S. and Latin America." All right, because a couple of years ago, the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, already granted permission to Russia, all right, to integrate nukes, okay, within Venezuela, all right, which is obviously within U.S. territory, man. All right, and then now you have this information further surged in the headlines, as a further countermeasure, okay, against the America looking to further infiltrate Ukraine, all right, with the deployment of NATO troops and ultimately make Ukraine a NATO ally, man. All right. So it says, could Russia be preparing to deploy its armed forces closer to the U.S. homeland? It says, as the U.S. refuses to halt the march of its NATO military bloc in Eastern Europe, Moscow could leverage its ties with friendly Latin American states to ruffle Washington's feathers. Okay, and they've already done that. It says, but would such a course of action be worth it? It says Cuba and Venezuela suddenly made the headlines alongside Ukraine and the Baltic states after Russia made remarks about putting military hardware in Latin America. RT looks at the potential cost of deploying Moscow's forces in what the U.S. counts as its near a broad hemisphere or smear of influence, depending on whom you ask. All right. So me, Salakia. All right, so it says later that day, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan made it clear in a press briefing that the topic is not on top of the agenda for President Joe Biden's administration, but that Washington would definitely respond to any attempts by Moscow to ramp up its capabilities in the Americas. Okay, so this is the legacy of America. All right, infiltrating and destabilizing lands with their secret societies and the military. All right. Their political forces of puppet masters they set up to further control the masses, all right, through their westernized agenda, man. All right, so and that's why these nations are further responding. All right, so it says here, on task.com. All right, exercises in all zones of responsibility, all right, from January to February. It says participating in exercise, all right, it's on Axios.com. Biden if Russia invades Ukraine. It says President. All right, so going back to this article, it says Biden is not threatening to respond militarily to defend Ukraine, but to hit Putin with sanctions, bolster the defenses of allies like the Baltic states, and send Ukraine more equipment to defend. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So these tensions are further escalating between these two top sovereign superpowers, man, on behalf of Russia and America. And this is all prophesied, man. So there is no peace. There should be no peace to the wicked. This war is inevitable and it's going to happen. And there's nothing that can be done about it. Now, this is an article I was going to bring out. Now, there's a part in this article, Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them to him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Because the vibration of Satan operates within the sons of men and the sons of the heathen. Okay. All right. Now, this account, Yahushua is rebuking wicked Israelites that came in the same spirit as the sons of the wicked and the sons of the heathen, man. Okay, coming that satanic vibration, that worldly, lustful, covetous vibration, man. Okay. Of being conformed, to the image of the dragon, okay, which at that time was a pagan Roman Empire. All right, and that image of that empire, the image of that dragon empire, Revelation, the 13th chapter, is America. The extension of the pagan Roman Empire all over again. All right, that's that wicked covering cast over the entire earth that has led these nations to be drunk off that same wine. All right, bringing them to the brink of destruction within this last world war. All right, because they're making their war provocations, man. Where you got North Korea, okay, further testing off their missiles, okay, which Kim Jong-un down there in North Korea is going hand with the missile test, man. Okay, because they know they got Big Brother China backing them. They got Big Moab backing them. Okay. All right. Then you got a foreign aid being provided to the Ukraine on behalf of the U.S. All right. Then you got China and Iran and Russia, indulging in joint military drills, man. Okay, and other rumors of wars that we keep hearing about, man, as these nations continue to flourish their sword, prophesied in Ezekiel 21:9. All right, one of the last few prophecies, which is this last world's war, Armageddon. So it says, same Mark 3:24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. All right. So both the Russians and the Idumeans of America are really the house of Satan, man. They're Idumeans, and it's part of this Idumean confederacy. Okay. And this is a further indication through the spirit of prophecy that we are seeing the end of so-called white supremacy, of tyranny, of wickedness, okay, at a premium, okay, covetousness, greed, okay, envy, okay, death and destruction, all the other unfruitful works of darkness, man, okay, of the legacy of white supremacy, okay, which is established, which is how America was established off of, okay, all right, carnality and witchcraft, okay, that's why in Nahum 3:1 it says, woe to the bloody sea. Okay, that sinful kingdom that the Most High Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is going to bring terrible destruction upon, man. Okay, which became the main place of the captivity of Jacob. Okay, that's why in Amos 9:8, the Most High, the word of the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua said what? He's going to utterly destroy the sinful kingdom, but not utterly Jacob, roughly paraphrasing. All right, because 1/3 of Israel have their names written in the book. Okay, have their names predestined and preordained to be saved in these last days, man. Okay, for this terrible destruction. Like it says in 2 Peter 2:9, the Lord Yahweh by Shem and Shai knows how to deliver the godly out of temptations, man. So on the hour of temptation that we're approaching, okay, during this paradigm shift, okay, where these devils get ready to replace the world reserve currency with the Kadagma, okay, suspend these governments, okay, render lawless societies, okay, to further justify the Hegelian dialectic, okay. And that's when Yahweh by Shem and Shai is gonna swoop in like a thief in the night and save us, man, from this devil, because he's getting out of control, man, and within his covetous heart. So much he's compromising his own house, okay, including the Russians. The bear in Revelation 18:2. All right. So this is St. Mark chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. All right. So verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. And that's exactly what these devils are doing, man. Okay? All right, looking to enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, man. All right, especially on the eastern side of the world. All right, around the Euphrates River. All right, where this last world's war is prophesied to take place at in Revelation the 16th chapter and Joel the 3rd chapter, man. Okay, where that last world's war is going to transition over here to America, Babylon the Great. Okay, all right, that within the kings of the east in that area. Okay. Further furbishing their swords for war, okay, regarding their indifferences, all right, with the wicked covering cast, the rulers of the darkness of this world, okay, looking to exhaust this world of its resources and people as resources, man, for those who oppose this global hegemonic NWO, man, okay, which is this plot is so wicked that it's even dividing the nations that are mutual that indulge in the NWO, man. Like on behalf of the World Economic Forum, you got Russia and China involved in the NWO, but they're not mutually, okay, in totality. They got differences. Why? The difference is the rulers of the darkness of this world are too goddamn covetous, man. Okay, they can't have enough, like it says in Sirach 12 and 16, to the point to where they're compromising the security and sovereignty of these other top sovereign nations such as Russia, China, Iran, and so forth. And that's why we keep constantly hearing those nations I just mentioned in the news, okay, because they're being affected by the covetous heart of the wicked rulers of the darkness of this world, the central bankers. All right, so they have no choice but to go to war. All right, like it says in Deuteronomy 19:14, "Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark." And that is the legacy of America. Okay, all right. Take more than you give. Okay, like a virus, like Agent Smith said in that movie The Matrix. Okay, he said, "What do you? So you people ain't no family." Roughly paraphrasing what he said. He said, "What do you call something that it moves into another territory and exhausts all its resources? A virus." What did it say? What did it say in what does it say in Sirach the 10th chapter? How Shashua is that disease, man. Okay, that's going to be cured by Yahweh Shai. Okay, by purging this disease from the earth with fervent heat in this last world's war. Prophesied, in 2 Peter the 3rd chapter and other precepts, man. Okay, in this last world's war, the King of all kings and Lord of all lords will get involved. All right, destroy the armies of these nations. All right, Micah 2, like I said, it's in Micah 2 and 2. Okay, matter of fact, I'm going to grab that real quick. Micah chapter 2, we'll start from the top. "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." Okay, like it says in Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. Okay, all right, controlling the world's resources and all right, finances through the central banks and the International Monetary Fund. All right, controlling the world that much more further. All right, through destabilizing countries. All right, with their politics and other devices of Satan. All right, which is why they took out the Haitian president, because he wanted to play ball with the dragon juice, man. That's why the same reason they took out Gaddafi in Libya, because he was trying to use the gold standards to further combat the petrodollar. All right, on a global scale. All right. Same reason why you had Syria invaded, northern Syria invaded, where he dealt with controlling like 90% of their oil down there, man. All right. Same reason why they invaded Iraq on behalf of through their military. Including on behalf of Schwarzkopf, all right, and stayed there for like 20 years, man. Okay, and they got the audacity to point the finger at Russia and accuse him of not wanting to go home, whereas he does not want to go home, man. Like it says here, Micah 2 and 2, "And they covered fields, and take them by violence in houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." Okay, and this is so-called white supremacy 101. This is prophesied, man. This is why America is going to be destroyed. Okay, point blank, period. All right, this is going to be destroyed by Russia. Okay, it says here they covered fields and taken by violence, man. Okay, they literally infiltrate other lands and take them by violence, like they did in Ukraine. Okay, and back in 2014. All right, on behalf of the Central Intelligence Agency. Okay, and that violence is not always publicized. And they have other ways of taking over territories, man. Okay, the blessing is a sword. The sword is an instrument of death, and they have other devices of death that they use. Okay, mainly their military, the further embodiment of their blessing being the sword. All right. So this is get Isaiah 13 and 17. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 17 reads, "For behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." All right, the modern day Medes are the Russians, man. Right, inhabiting that land. Okay, where the the Japhites were dwelling at one point. All right, so the modern day Medes in that area are the Russians, prophesying in Ezekiel 38 chapter. All right, and they're not going to regard just the silver and gold of America, man, because that negotiation phase is over. Okay, within this last world's war, there's not very much else to talk about. You have the Biden administration being stubborn. Okay, you have Blinken talking about how he's not going to consider the negotiations of the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov at all. Okay, you got that red-headed Shedemite, what's her name? Salaki. You got Jen Psaki, further stirring up the pot. Using the propaganda tool to further imply that Russia is the cause of this commotion, man. When it's really the U.S. and NATO, man. Okay, looking to surround Russia. Okay, within the European territories. Okay, by deploying their NATO troops within there, man. All right. So now they have no choice but to come out swinging, man. All right. So now here we are. The stage is being set for this last world's war. Okay. And it says, this is Isaiah 13 and 18. "Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children." So Yahweh Shemeshah is going to put a cold spirit on these Russians, man. Okay, and they shoot their ICBMs over here, the ICBM thermonuclear missile warheads, and along with their allies. It's going to be a devastating destruction for this place, man. Okay, and on top of that, you're going to have China, Iran, North Korea, another nation shooting their arrows over here, because our forefathers had prophesied those instruments in their visions, arrows. Jeremiah 50th and 51st chapter, 2nd Ezra the 16th chapter, and similar precepts, man. So this is not far-fetched. These people in the world that they never envisioned America being destroyed. Well, now here you go, man. These prophecies are screaming off the pages, man. Okay, and these things must come to pass before the kingdom of heaven is established on the earth. So it's Isaiah 13 and 19. "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Okay, read it again. "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Okay, so this is modern day Chaldea. Okay, modern day Assyria is modern day Babylon, man. All right, the virgin daughter of Babylon the Great. Okay. All right, this is the whore that sits upon many waters that will be burned with fire in these last days, man. Okay, by the weapons of indignation of Yahweh by Shemeshah through these nations, okay, including the king of the Medes, the Russians, man. They're getting fed up with the Western philosophy of America, man. Okay, being dictated on how their sovereignty, all right, should being being rather reprimanded, all right, and ridiculed, in regards to how their sovereignty shall be dictated, man, by the Western influence, and they're getting tired of that. Okay, so when they want to separate themselves, okay, within all ties from the U.S. and NATO, okay, because the great destruction, okay, the great threat, that America and NATO serves to the security, okay, of the Russians. All right, so we're going to get a couple more articles. All right, so you see here. Russian Navy gets 3 advanced submarines, man. And one submarine, it would be completely detrimental and devastating to America, Babylon the Great, man. They have several submarines that they're further developing. Okay. So this is a sword being furbished on behalf of the other counterparts of the Idumean Confederacy, okay, including some NATO allies that would turn on America, as is prophesied in Revelation 17 to 16. All right. So you jump down here. It says Russian troops near Ukraine's border just reaction to West arms supply to Kiev. All right, so there's a lot of tensions, all right, surrounding these borders, okay, around Russia. All right, which is why here it says Russia-Ukraine tensions. UK sends 30 elite troops and 2,000 anti-tank weapons to Ukraine amid fears of Russian invasion. See? So the stage is being set for this final showdown, man. And it's only going to get worse, okay, as these rumors of wars continue. All right? So, Salakia. I'm going to end this off with a couple more precepts. But, it's a great time to be alive, man. See the downfall of our enemies. All right, Isaiah 13 and 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Because like it says in Isaiah 24 to 34 chapters, America, Babylon the Great, will be converted to a gigantic wasteland, man. Isaiah 13 and 21. It's like Isaiah 19 and 21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this is it, man. This is it for America, Babylon the Great. Okay? So our Lord and our King is getting ready to come back here and deliver us out of this hellhole. So I'm going to go ahead and end this off in 2 Peter chapter 2, or 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 12. It says, looking for and hasting it to the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So this last world's war is going to be nuclear, man. Okay, and that goes into why Albert Einstein, I said, World War IV would be fought with sticks and stones, man. Okay, so how devastating this last world's war is going to be. Okay, because the fervent heat of Yahweh shining angels simultaneously with the thermonuclear fire of the 200 million ICBM thermonuclear warheads, okay, is going to destroy America completely, man. Okay, and leave this place 100% destroyed. This is verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay, so that's the aftermath of this last world's war. All right, the Kadam, the last two major prophecies where we will get the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, very soon. Okay, within these last few prophecies coming to pass. I'm going to end it off there. Give all praise, glory, infinite honor to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashaga, Rashadra, Badash. Give me the spirit to do this video. Your prayers for the edifying is ordered to the elect. All right, if you came across this video, then this live stream will come across this video. Okay, with that above a ball, DTA, Kwame Shala, Shalom to your elect, and on to the next one.